It's MactheGuru. This is my review for Godfather of Harlem, Season 3, Episode 8. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I gotta say, salute to everybody. Thanks for supporting the channel. I just passed 5,000 subscribers. Keep liking the video. Keep subscribing. I appreciate you. Now, let's get into this episode. And it was so much. I gotta break it down into segments where I go through each character and what I think about each character. I gotta start with Bumpy and Malcolm's relationship. We seen it fall apart in front of our eyes, and it's crazy because Bumpy was trying to help Malcolm, and obviously without that protection, that extra protection, we gonna see Malcolm's passing coming soon. Probably the next season is when it'll happen, and Bumpy won't be there. It's crazy how this happened, man, because Bumpy literally was protecting him. And he did. He protected Shay. At the end, you see he knocked off Jose, man, right? Before they could shoot the rocket launcher go into the ocean. Everything cool. I like how they wrote that in, to make Malcolm's and Bumpy relationship fall apart and give a great reason why it fell apart. And you could be on Bumpy's side saying, yo, Bumpy did the right thing. You could be on Malcolm's side like, yo, he got to let Malcolm live his life. You know what I mean? And things going to go the way it's going to go. I also like the element of them bringing Alex in. This is Alex Haley. This is the person that wrote the autobiography of Malcolm X. If you never read it, read it. It's a great read. I definitely got the book on my bookcase for sure. It's a great read, learning about Malcolm X. It's other books on Malcolm X too that you should also read though. But we seen Malcolm X fight for Bumpy to be in the book, and then at the end he ripped the pages up. I was like, oh man, this not gonna be good. Why did he do that? He know Bumpy love him. He know Bumpy just trying to protect him. He even know Bumpy most likely had the information. It's like, bro, what are you doing? And I get it. You like, yo, I'm going to live my life, but I'm not going to just go nowhere where I know I'm going to get knocked off. Like, I don't think that's smart. I just don't think that's smart. And I really wish Malcolm would have been able to live longer, because I think he'd have been able to help more people. But of course, things go the way it go. Now, we also seen Mamie return home. Oh, was I so happy that Mamie returned home. And salute to Bumpy. Wasn't that good game when he came over, knocked on the door? He was looking all sad, which he was sad. I mean, he losing the lady of his life. Just walked out on him. So, yeah, that'll make you sad because she is his peace. When he dealing with everything in the streets, he go home to her. But he knock on the door. He got the flowers, got to come with some flowers, and he said they was for Lillian, but, he give the flowers to Mamie, and he let her know, hey, he trying to protect Malcolm, can you help him? Which he was, right? And then Mamie like, yo, you don't got anything else you want to say to me? Because he didn't say nothing at first, so now she done got frustrated, like, hold on, you ain't going to ask me to come back? As soon as she said that, he turned around, looked her dead in the eye, serious. No smile, no crying. I mean, it's Bumpy. He is a gangster. But he looked her dead in the eye. I love you. Come home. And then he left. And she like, dang, I gotta find a way home. And then she walk in later and see that Lillian has hired a private investigator. And in my mind, the first thing I thought about when I seen him was, is she trying to hook him up with Mamie? That's what I thought they was going to do at first, but they didn't go that direction. It's just like he spoke to her, and then Lillian tells Mamie, yo, he's a private investigator. He's going to help me figure out what happened to Archie. And the big thing about Archie is he made his decision. He a grown man. Like, he decided to work with Bumpy. That's what he did. Nobody was like, yo, you just gotta work with Bumpy. No, Archie made his decision. He was doing illegal stuff too. And he would have did it again when he was working with Mamie. I think they did some illegal stuff. So it's like, come on, man. You can't be too mad at Bumpy. Archie got himself in that situation. and then made me like, yo, if you do this, this gonna bring down my husband, right? So it lets you know, no, she's still in love with Bumpy. She still, want him. And she like, yo, I will drag you up and down the street. I'm like, oh, snap. Baby that went all the way gangster. Look like her husband rubbing off. Because she like, yo, I will drag you up and down the street. That was funny. And then, of course, we see her at the end. And she kissed Bumpy. I'm like, yes. They back together. Now, the family back together. Bumpy gonna be stronger. I still do think Mamie gonna be trying to get him to stop moving dope. But it's inevitable, so she gonna have to just come to terms with it, because I don't think he gonna stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Shout out to Bad Boy. And speaking of a bad boy, salute to Chance, man, because he played that role perfect. Wild Bill is smart, but Chance is smarter. He go in there, and Bumpy's smarter because Bumpy told him to do it. He go in there, act like he turning on Bumpy. Well, Bill like, I don't believe that for 1 minute. You ain't turning on Bumpy. I know you was in the military, but you ain't turning on Bumpy. And he like, yeah, you got me. But really, he just started to figure out what's going on. He looking at stuff. As soon as I seen him look at the first sign when he was entering, I'm like, oh, he doing some information gathering. In the military, because I was in the military. That's one thing we do when we see foreign country, they got a plane or they got a ship that's close to ours. I was in the Navy. We would go out. I would help the ISs and the CS. These the people that, not CS was the cook, but the ISs and the CTR, CTNs, they would do like the research and spy operations, stuff like that. They had intelligence. They would gather intelligence of other countries and stuff. I would help them. I was a quartermaster on the bridge. We would go out and we would take pictures of the planes and stuff, and we would just gather information, what they look like, what type of weapons they might have. In case something do pop off, we would know how to handle it. So that's what they did. They go in there, gather information, figure out the weapons that they got, and then he go back and tell Bumpy. And this is how they able to piece it together, the fruit truck, all of that. And they able to actually stop and save Che life. So even though Bumpy stopped Malcolm X, Che life still got saved too, because they end up hitting Jose's man. The crazy thing is, this gonna start a war between them and Jose. Even though Jose man was gonna die anyway. Remember, Jose man was gonna get knocked off while Bill had just told Jose, yo, them dudes that's doing this, they gonna die. So Jose shouldn't be too mad, but I think he is. So look out for that war to start, which you try to be friends, gain a new friend, end up being a war, man. Hopefully Chin can return. That's the one person I think respect Bumpy and to work with Bumpy and to be straight up with Bumpy. Chin. If he could return, if he come back episode 9, maybe episode 10, that'd be dope. And I think they really building. This season was amazing because these last 2 episodes have been amazing, but all of them have. But everything been built from season 3, episode 1. It been building and building, and now episode 8 was just fire. Episode 9 gonna be fire. 10, gonna be fire too for sure. Now, besides everything that was going on with Bumpy and Malcolm X and Jose, they little thing, you also had Joe and the families going at it this episode. They done got the priest involved, Uncle Louie. I'm like, yo, I thought he was the priest. He didn't went and talked to the families and dropping information. I'm like, dang, the priest don't supposed to be telling stuff like that, But Olympia, she played her cards well to get that to happen, and Stella played her cards well too to keep Uncle Louie alive. Because remember, Joe ruthless. Joe like, hey man, I ain't never whacked a priest before, but you never say never. Anything can happen. So Joe about to whack the priest, and Stella was able to talk him out of it. But going forward, somebody is gonna have to get rid of Olympia. She is a problem. Not just because she put the hit out on Stella. Not just because she messing with Tommy, but now she going to holler at the priest and he talking to the families. They gotta move her out the way. She more of a problem than Chin. And what they really need to do is convince Chin. Stella need to go talk to Chin in the prison and convince him that Olympia tried to take her out and put a hit on her, and then that end that whole Olympia being a problem thing. Now, Stella and Joe's relationship is growing. It's growing slow, but it's growing. I know it was a part in the episode where he actually kisses her on the forehead. I think eventually she gonna start liking him, and he already like her. Let's just get that out the way. I mean, she's smart. She helping him save more money, and then she's beautiful. What more is, for a man? You're like, hey, that's all I need right there, and she's part of the family already, so it's just like a perfect match. It's just Stella gotta come around on Joe. If she make a move on Joe, that's all they need. Joe ain't gonna be like, no, stop, nah. So I think that's gonna definitely happen, and they will be like a little power couple. If they actually come together, they'll be like a power couple, especially if something happened to Chan, he passed away. Stella is his offspring, and then she ends up with Joe. Definitely a power couple. So look forward to that, man. But this episode, I enjoyed it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. What do you think is going to happen in episode 9, episode 10? Because they could go a lot of different directions. It's MactheGuru. If you're still here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that like button. Salute to everybody that's subscribed already. And as always, man, y'all be easy. Be safe. Peace.